these two beautiful pictures of my grandmother and my grandson, which makes that his great great Grammy. Um, I am using the die cuts with a view, the Primrose stack, and I am also using a Paper Wishes. Let's see if I can find out what this is. I think it's actually a card kit for some embellishments. It is called Hot Off the Press 102 piece Sponge Sugar Artful Card Kit is where I got some of my embellishments. I I know I wanted to put these two pictures that I had trimmed down to approximately, I would say, 4 by 4, um, maybe 5 by 4, and I wanted to have them in a horizontal fashion, and I definitely wanted a moment captured, that little oval piece between the two pictures. Other than that, I'm auditioning a bunch of the die cuts. I was going to cut that ruler lace piece off because the music portion of that die cut was just too busy. I did really like that floral piece too, but it was a little too large for my liking. Ah, apparently this Harlequin looking diamond border fits the bill. I gave it the thumbs up. This is that, those are those card um, pieces. All of the floral and butterfly pieces that are already on the paper um, came from that card kit. Just trying not to get any trapped space between my photo and that rose. This is going to be my journaling spot. I do want to tuck it in and have some of those little flowers kind of hanging over the border strip. I do want a tiny cluster up there. So in this particular photograph, Jacob is 2 and my Grammy is 92. She is now 93. Oh, apparently that is what I like, and that is how I'm going to keep it. I just need to adhere it all down. Back to what I was saying, my Grammy lives home alone in her own home and takes care of herself. Unfortunately, she hasn't left the house in about 2 years, though, because she has osteoporosis really, really bad in her hips, and walking is becoming a challenge for her. But she can get around quite well in her home with her walker, and is very, very independent. So I'm starting to stick things down. I've pretty much made up my mind of how I want to keep things. And of course, I put down all the adhesive and then say, oh, that's right, I wanted to tuck things behind. But luckily, I was able to lift things up and get my journaling tag in there without damaging anything. Here I go. Stick things down. I stick things down and pick them up. Yeah. I'm just not able to get it back to how I had it, I guess. I didn't want to cover up any of the already printed things in the bottom left-hand corner, the memories and the butterflies. Come on, get in there. Ta-da! Okay. Now, how to orientate these roses? I don't know how much of the foliage I want to show, and do I want the foliage at the top, the foliage at the bottom? I really like that. In hindsight, looking at it, I really like how the leaves kind of um, go on each side of the word memories, but I don't think I keep it that way because there's a little rosebud at the bottom that I would have had to cut off. Yeah, I didn't keep it that way. Like I said, in hindsight, I kind of like that. But that's not bad either. It makes like a little photo corner around my photo, so that is just fine. Adhering that large oval that says a moment captured. Making sure I get it over there even so I don't have any of the corners of the photos sticking out. Okay, now on to the embellishments. Sticking in the rules of three, I have an embellishment, if you want to call it a cluster. There's really only 2 items, but I do think I'm going to go back upon watching this, and I think I'm going to put either some enamel dots or some little rhinestones in the 3 places that I have the flowers and the butterflies. Can't quite decide whether or not I want that butterfly there and the little butterfly there. Right, the big butterfly ends up kind of in the middle of the page. And now I am putting down that last butterfly. Oh, I thought I already adhered that guy down. Apparently not. And I decided that I am going to, I was going to do my journaling off camera, but I think I do it because basically I'm just stating that we dropped off my Grammy's Christmas presents. This was Christmas Eve of 2016. And after we left my mom's house, we all went to Grammy Teresa's house and brought her a meal. She's just, like I said, having a hard time getting out of the house. So we would all go to her house and have a meal right there at her house, but I have a handicapped sister. So, and my Grammy has stairs, and my sister is in a wheelchair. So we brought her her meal and her presents and visited with her on Christmas Eve. But I am saying how it's just amazing to me that he's 2 and that she's 92. I love the pictures of her hands with his hands, her weathered arthritis hands with his young, vibrant little hands, and his little face up against her face. I think it's just so beautiful. So beautiful that she's been through and seen so much, and he's just beginning. Here I am peeling up my picture so I can look at the date on the back of it, because I am a stickler for writing down the date that the photos were taken in my journaling, or at least somewhere on the page. And Jacob loves to go visit his great-great-Grammy. He calls her Grammy Teresa. When my daughter was little, she spent a lot of time with my Grammy, and she would always say that Grammy Teresa was her best friend. So Grammy Teresa has had a great presence in my life, in my children's lives, and now in my grandchild's life. I'm very blessed to still have her in my life. And I was blessed to have my mère in my life for 93. Well, not, but I didn't have her in my life for 93 years, but she passed away when she was 93. I'm just writing down their ages. And that will conclude my journaling. And I decided I just had to, well, it's not really glossy accents. I'm using triple thick on the butterflies and on the flowers, just to bling them up a bit. I'm sorry, this part is a bit slow. I was just going to strategically place some on certain parts of the wings of the big butterfly, but oh, the whole less is more thing kind of gets lost with me. And of course, you can't really see the glossiness of it until it dries, because it's just kind of a murky, shiny color right now. It's like watching paint dry. I need to learn how to be able to speed things up in mid voiceover without speeding up my voice, because I tried that on my last video and ended up sounding like a chipmunk. Almost there. The little guys don't take long. I'll grab a sip of tea and you can do the same. I did shine up the word memories, as you can see. And I also put some little dewdrops in all of the flowers. I am using Filmora as my editing software. God, I wish there was a manual. If anyone watching this knows if there is, I watch things on YouTube, but with a manual you can flip and look up specific things, have some specific questions answered, but I think the world is doing away with manuals and everything is just a help button at the top of the screen. And there's my little dewdrops on my flowers. I've also never put stills at the end of my video, so hopefully I'll learn that as well. And that concludes this layout. I think I'm just going to bring it up to the camera a little bit. Oh, I do spray the large butterfly with a little bit of alcohol because I saw some bubbles. And if you spray your glossy accents or your triple thick or your, what is it called? Crystal glass, or you can pop the bubbles if you spray it lightly with some alcohol. And I saw a spot that I missed, so I'm filling that in. And I think that concludes this layout. Thank you so much for watching. And please, if you'd be ever so kind to subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. We can go on this journey together. Thanks again. Take care now. Bye-bye.